What's going on, everybody? Wanted to make a little quick update, show some of the stuff that's growing right now. Just bought from a local nursery. This is a perennial cucumber, also called ivy gourd, and it is making its very first fruit right there. And it's not all that old. I just put it in. I bought two of them. The other one I don't think is going to survive, but I'm just leaving it there. But this one, as you can see, is already climbing up. And this is why I bought this cattle panel to make this trellis, so that it has lots of room to climb. I was going to do a passion fruit on this trellis, but the passion fruit that I planted ended up dying, so I have another passion fruit growing somewhere else that's doing very well, so I just pulled that one out and decided when I found this to put it in here, because this is supposed to be very easy, and it's pretty much takes care of itself. I water it. It's getting water here every other day, so it probably could use water every day because it's so dry right now, but I'm just doing it every other day. What's funny is I had planted this Zambian cucumber. I had planted some of that here and didn't think it was going to come up, and this one came up, and there's one right there that came up, so if they grow they can share the trellis. I have a tomato that I had planted here that someone had given me a start of. It's not looking too good, but I have other tomatoes, so if it doesn't survive, I'm not all that worried about it. But I pruned back this everbearing here, and it's doing what I was wanting it to do. It's making more berries. Everbearing mulberry trees will do that. When you prune them, every time they put out new growth, they will make new berries, because it didn't give us any berries when it came back from being dormant. So you can see they're so weird looking, the little blooms, but I'll let it go and get those berries, and then whenever it starts to, I pretty much topped it, but whenever it starts to get too big again, I'll prune it again, and it'll probably produce some more berries. I've got black eyes coming up in a lot of different places. A friend of mine gave me a banana corm. I don't remember the variety of this banana, and I know it's not an ornamental. It's an edible. Well, ornamental bananas are edible. They're just not as good. But I planted the corm here, which is like the root, kind of like the root ball, and it's starting to come up right here. It's just black-eyed peas all around it here, which that'll give it some good nitrogen. The cranberry hibiscus is coming back, and there's places where it had self-seeded. I had totally forgotten I had a blackberry plant there. I had two of them. One of them died, I think, but one of them's still there. So we'll see if it comes back. Blackberries are pretty good to grow in Florida because of, especially if you have land with this here. This is dewberry, which is basically a wild blackberry. I don't know if you can see, but these things are covered in thorns, but they will grow out in the wild on the forest edge, sometimes in pastures and whatnot, and they are a very good tasting berry. They're just very small and have lots of seeds because they're wild. But this got over here because I had planted a bunch of it over here around this soapberry tree, and it kind of self-seeds and goes wherever it wants to go. And it doesn't take a lot of effort because it just grows in the wild here. But if you have these in your area, then I won't say it's a guarantee, but you could probably grow blackberries, like actual, improved blackberry varieties, because these are blackberries. They're just the wild version. The little Indian mallow flower. Another one's about to open up right here. See that? I need to come out here. I had thought this Hass avocado that I had planted out here years ago, you can see it's starting to come back up right there from being frozen off, but it was really tall, and unfortunately it's not going to bloom for a long time now. But I need to come out here and cut the dead part off so that the new growth can grow. This honey mango is coming back. Again, when you have something like this, especially from seed, and it's coming back from being killed off, it's going to take it a while to actually produce again. And there, unfortunately, I have some trees that didn't make it from the freeze. I had the 2 black sapote trees here. They didn't make it at all, but they cannot handle any cold. This, I can't tell, that lighter green down there may be this Barbados cherry coming back. Sorry, there's a plane coming over. Give it a second. But anyways, it may be coming back, so I can cut that down. But my Florida avocado is coming back. This mango right here is starting to come back. This was just, I think this was an Alfonso that I planted a pit and I was planning on grafting onto. But we're still really, really dry. We seriously need some rain. We're supposed to start getting into our normal rain pattern that we have in time. Oh, killing the camera. But I don't know, we'll see. They keep saying we're going to have rain and then it doesn't rain. So that's the way it works with weathermen, I guess. But yeah, I have this other everbearing mulberry out here that I could prune off and try to get it to produce again. As far as I know, the everbearings are the only ones that do that you can prune them, and when you prune them, they'll produce more. My cherry of the Rio Grande has finished giving is finished blooming. You can see, like, this was where a flower and a fruit was, so it's finished for the season. We got a good amount off of it, and I need to give it some water because the sprinkler just doesn't quite make it over here. What I'm planning on doing is air layering this, because I would like to get some more of these. And I also would like to, similar to it, called a Savannah cherry. But this thing does so well out here, and I thought for sure when we had a pretty bad winter last year. We had temperatures down into the 20s multiple nights in a row, and that's hard for any of these warm climate plants. But this just had no problem, and didn't even, I mean, had some leaves die, but that was it. I was pleased with, I was afraid I'd lose this olive tree as well, but it didn't seem to have a problem. I did cover this. I did not cover my cherry because it's too big, but that's about it. I've got the raised beds going. I've got the strawberries are doing well in there. I've got some tomatoes going, some okra coming up. We're getting into the hot months, so you got to start planting the hot weather plants. And so I'm probably gonna take some more black eyes. I like to cover crop with black eyes because they grow so well here in the heat, and they also add nitrogen into the soil, or they fix nitrogen in the soil. So yeah, I just haven't shown the what's actually growing out here in a while, and thought that I would get on. We had a peach tree that a friend of mine bought me that had peaches on it this year, and we didn't get to try a single one of them because something ate them all. So we'll try again next year. I got to get some of the better things to protect the fruit. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. And not a whole bunch going on because we're getting into our hot season, and we're in a drought, so it's, what's growing is struggling, but it's still there. We're just doing the best we can to keep it watered and getting what we can out of it. So, but anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.